Today's episode on Afternoon Express is dedicated to all the workers out there who do their part to make life special.
Social media sensation Mihlali Ndamase shares her insights and advice on how she created her own viral makeup and beauty brand.
Actress and radio DJ Thando Thabethe is living proof that having a dream and working hard towards that dream is a recipe for success.
Blogger, social media star, presenter and fashionista. Is there anything Kim Jayde cannot do? We spend a day in the life of the famous sneakerhead. Content creator Sarah Langa shows us how she used her university degree in psychology and marketing to become a major force in the industry.
And highly acclaimed architect and interior design couple Sylvia Rich and Leslie Carstens give us a tour of their beautiful stylish home. And that's our location this evening.
Hello everyone and welcome to Afternoon Express at the spectacular home of Sylvia Rick and Leslie Carsten.
Absolutely, Mzansi, it's about to be a phenomenal hour together. Now, we all love the content creators and influencers who keep us entertained. But have you ever wondered how much work is going on behind the scenes? Well, that is what we're here to find out today.
And we are starting off big with Mihlali Ndamase, who is a woman of many talents. Not only is she the CEO of her own fashion and beauty company, but she is one of Forbes 30 under 30 influencers on the African continent. She started out as one of the first beauty YouTubers in South Africa and has used that platform to grow her brand.
Now, Mihlali has 475,000 subscribers on YouTube and 2.3 million followers on Instagram. She is a titan of the industry with her own vast wealth of knowledge and expertise.
My name is Mihlali Ndamase and I'm based in Johannesburg. I'm a multi-award-winning digital content creator, CEO of Malachite, as well as a YouTuber. And you guys are going to be spending the day with me today. So let's head into gym first and get fit. Hey bro, what's up?
All right.
So guys, this is James, my fitness trainer, my personal wellness coach. He is the founder and owner of VIP Fitness. So what are we going to be doing today?
All right, so today I'm going to be taking Mihlali through a full body workout. Starting from the bottom, we're going to move to the core and then upper body. Let's make it shake, all right?
Let's make it shake.
One time.
My weight loss journey started about 2 or 3 years ago and I successfully lost 12 kgs. And for me, it's important because my job requires me to be in front of the camera all the time, to be interacting with people all the time. And when I feel my best, I can perform my best. So that's why it's important to me. The exercises I do with James, my least favorite is anything that has to do with upper body because I have zero upper body strength. My favorite is anything to do with squats because obviously as a woman, the booty is always a priority. The thighs being firm is always a priority. Getting rid of the cellulite is a priority. So I love my weight training lower body, hated upper body.
I think over the years, I've gone to understand who she is and how she works. And yeah, for me, it's fun working with Mihlali. She is a free spirit. She's an awesome human being and respectful to my craft. So that's it. So obviously, Mihlali is a very busy person. Keeping up with her schedule and nutrition is quite difficult. So I've decided to take it upon myself to make sure that I am her accountability partner and not just a personal trainer. So more of a, Mihlali, where are you today? Like, we're supposed to have a session. Mihlali, have you eaten today? You're supposed to have 2 meals. And what was in your meals? Have you been doing what I've asked you to do, as opposed to just waiting for her at the gym and hoping she actually makes it? It takes more than just being a trainer.
Fitness is important to me because I feel like it has a huge impact on my mental health, number one. I feel much more clear and level-headed when I am training. And it is also important for not only feeling good about myself externally, but internally contributes a lot to my health. And obviously, as you know, with my job, it can get very demanding. Sometimes it's difficult to watch your diet. So I try to make up for those gaps by training.
If Mihlali's social media platforms are the bricks of her career, then the cement is her self-discipline. It starts with her workouts, goes right into breakfast, and continues throughout the day.
Hey guys, welcome to my home. So it's very important for me to make a healthy meal after gym. What I'm going to be making today is scrambled egg with some cherry tomato, spinach and avo. And honestly, we know that bodies are made 80% in the kitchen and 20% at gym. So your diet needs to support all the work that you put in at the gym. Hence why my breakfast needs to be healthy. What I eat is very important to me because I have a history of acne, first and foremost. So it's important to have a healthy diet because what you put in your body reflects on the outside. And also outside of that, with gym, if you are trying to get results quickly, you need to make sure that you're putting good food into your body, food that contributes to your strength, your performance at the gym, and also protein, which helps with building muscle. So diet is very important to me. The most challenging part of this weight loss journey, I think, is generally just temptation, especially when you are constantly around people or surrounded by people. Not everyone has the same goals when it comes to their health. And I just constantly have to remind myself that I have a goal that I need to achieve and I must just put my head down and focus. But I'm not perfect. I sometimes do slip into the temptation. I would say to my younger self is don't stress too much, don't overthink things that are not necessary, that are not important at the time, because everything's gonna fall into place. And also constantly be assertive and unapologetically yourself. Don't be afraid to take up space because trust me, the rooms you aspire to be in are the rooms you deserve to be in. My favorite spot in my home is, well, I have two. First, in my living area because I get to relax and watch TV. It's great for downtime. It's also the common area that I relax in when I have family over or friends. Second favorite spot is definitely my studio/beauty room because that's where I get glammed for events and that's where I film my YouTube content. And it just feels like that little room that's like every girl's dream. So it's just my little girl heaven.
Making content includes organizing great photo shoots.
Welcome to my beauty room/home studio, and this is basically where the magic happens for my YouTube channel. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing my updated everyday go-to makeup look. My makeup journey started when I was a little girl. I used to steal my mom's makeup and wear her red lipstick to camp. I'll never forget this red lipstick that got me into so much trouble with the teachers at school. And then fast forward, I grow up. I'm in boarding school, Pietermaritzburg. I'm at an all-girls school. What do we do on weekends to entertain ourselves? We're in the computer room, indulging on the internet. So that's when I discovered the online community on YouTube. And I really just fell in love with the space. I became addicted to watching tutorials. And at the time, I didn't know how I'd monetize the space. But when you get to a point where you're in grade 11, 12, it's career choices. I knew I wanted to be either in marketing for a beauty powerhouse or have my own cosmetics line or work within the branding space or be a beautician. So it all just really ties together and highlights how passionate I am about the beauty industry. While freelancing as a makeup artist, I saved money to buy my first camera, and that's when I started my digital journey. I literally sat down one day, decided I'm gonna review this foundation for a brand, and things picked up from there. I can't necessarily say it's luck. There was a lot of work that went into it. There still is a lot of work that goes into it. It's constantly about innovating yourself. It's constantly about doing your research, upping your game in terms of quality, because it's now becoming such a fast-paced industry and it's becoming saturated. And how else do you stand apart? Put your best foot forward. Highlighting, you always want to bring forward certain features of your face. So I focus this on the inner corners of my eyes. Now I'm going in with a damp beauty blender just to blend all of that out. Tap, tap, tap. And you really need to be patient with the blending process. Otherwise, you'll end up with makeup that is not well blended and looks very patchy. Obviously, this is an optional step. You don't have to go according to any rule book when it comes to beauty. It is a form of art and expression. So today I partnered with TK, who is a great photographer in Johannesburg, to execute something different. We've shot quite a lot together, a lot of portrait looks, very typical glam. So we wanted to do something different and bring a more creative, artistic element to glamour. So art meets glam.
I really enjoy shooting. The nicest thing is that we get the shots quicker, and she knows what she wants. And I've always tried to meet what she wants and meet the standards of her work and the standards of her caliber as a brand.
I want to inspire young girls and boys in Africa by just being the example that your dreams are valid, especially as a creative. Being a black child is so difficult, especially when you come from a traditional home. When you want to pursue a creative route, it's often not supported by parents because they don't understand. All they know is your doctors, your accountants, your medicine. So I want to be that example that you can pursue something that you are passionate about within the creative space and excel at it. And also the fact that there's so much more to see in the world. Your world is your oyster.
So long as you keep creating pearls, and those which Mihlali Ndamase produces on a daily have clearly found their market.
Mihlali's story tells us that great things can come from humble beginnings. You'll never know unless you try. Join us after the break as we jump straight into the star-studded world of award-winning actress and radio DJ Thando Thabethe.
Thando Thabethe has always had the dedication and grit to succeed in whatever field she chooses. So with her insatiable desire to be a star, it is no surprise that she has made her mark as a Golden Horn award-winning actress and Viewer's Choice award-winning radio DJ.
The life and career of radio, TV and fashion superstar Thando Thabethe is an excellent marker for anyone in search of inspiration. Born just months after the release of Utata Madiba in 1990, every day since then is one she has seized and made her own.
My name is Thando Thabethe, actress, radio presenter, producer, and I want to welcome you to my space. Come in. Okay, I know I'm wearing pajamas, but you happen to visit me on a day I'm shooting this brand new pajamas from Thabete, my brand. We sell underwear, shapewear, swimwear, and PJs, and these are the new ones. It's called the Bloom PJs, so you get an exclusive look at them. And the first thing you see when you enter is some of the covers I've graced. Probably one of my favorite is the Forbes Africa 30 Under 30, so it celebrates young South Africans, game changers, innovators in different sectors, whether it be business, technology, and I guess in my case, the creatives. Another favorite is probably this GQ one. I think it's turned out to be pretty iconic. It's one of my favorite covers. And this is my general living space. I like to relax, when I have time to relax. You'll see everything is white and pure because I felt like I wanted to bring like the beach to me. There's also like elements of nature, so from little leaves. You can even see with the little art pieces that I chose, but my favorite art piece is probably that one. I got it done by a Ghanaian artist called Barasari. He's just absolutely fantastic. I also like to keep little things of my family because my family is like a very big part of who I am. And this book, pretty special. I actually got it from a friend of mine for my 29th birthday. He actually has a quote, "One life, just one. Why aren't we running like we're on fire towards our wildest dream? Nothing to lose but life itself." It's pretty special.
With her success, she has bought her mother a home as well as invested in one for herself.
I got this house at 24, which I think is a great achievement for someone that young. I just felt it important that I own a space. I think we spend so much time using our money on frivolous stuff. I thought, being a homeowner was something very important, and I'm very proud of that too. I actually have 2 properties, so this is my primary residence, which I love. I actually flipped this house. It looked nothing like it looks right now, and I don't need a space that's way too big. It's just me. I'm an independent young woman living my best life. I actually am not one to have like people at my house. So like my very closest friends, my family, like that's the only people that will ever come over here. Like for me, it's a very sacred space. It's like where I come to lay my head, and I'm very wary of energies, and it's like, so I try to, so this is a big deal.
Privacy is precious to an actress whose TV shows have reached audiences of up to 9 million people.
I was an actress before I was anything else. I think that started towards the end of my primary school career, as early as that. I went on to study at BCom accounting, and at UJ is where I met radio. Never was something I wanted to do or was even interested in, and I took a shot at it. And almost 20 years later, I'm still at it. I thought if I start radio, I'll end up on TV. And as God would have it, the two sort of happened together. Those are my radio awards, which I'm really, really proud of. I won Best Drive Show and Best Drive Presenter. So both means were just means absolutely top of your game. And to go up against some really talented South African presenters and come out tops is just incredible. And again, it shows if you start the journey properly, no shortcuts. If you go the full way, you get rewarded and awarded. I would say absolutely how I grew up has shaped the person that I am. I think I've been taught to be resilient. I've been taught you need to work to get things, and things aren't just given to you on a silver platter, which is very important in a time where I think young people seek instant gratification. This is where the magic happens. Joking, no magic happens here. But it is my bedroom, and I love this space. Giant mirror. It's a great way to, know what you look like before you leave the house. We'll move to the bathroom. It's very fresh, it's bright in here. I've got nice gold fixtures and rose gold. Feels like a beautiful place to just come and relax. And if you don't find me working, in the rare instance, you'll find me here. This is probably my favorite place to be. I love to sleep and in luxury, which is why I have this beautiful, luxurious throw, because it's getting cold now. And if you don't have someone to sleep with, this will do. This little area I love to come to and just, have a seat, read a book. This is the book I'm currently reading, Viola Davis, Finding Me. It's like a memoir. I sit here, put on some music, light a candle, and just relax. I did this for the Marie Claire Naked edition. Between celebrities, like strip off, sort of naked. I mean, it's tasteful. It's for charity. So this was a couple of years back, and I thought it was so beautiful, so vulnerable, and so elegant. This is actually one of my favorite pictures ever. I love this picture.
While going natural for charity, Miss Thabete is even better known for setting social media alight with what she is wearing.
And this here is my closet, because you need a whole room to get dressed. And then shoes, glorious shoes, lots of shoes, because a girl can never have enough shoes. I love me a good heel, but I'm also a big sneakerhead. People don't know that about me, because when we do the work we in the heels all the time. But in real life, IRL, I'm in sneakers half the time, and this is one of my favorite sneaks. But I also love a good heel, right? And all sorts of heels, like your very over-the-top heels. These are probably one of my favorites. They're Manolos, and they were actually given to me as a gift. What else? The perfume area, because I love to smell good. This is like the makeup station, which comes in really handy when I do photo shoots like I'm doing at home today. And then this side is my handbags. This bag is probably one in 3 of these. I bought this in LA, actually. It's one of my favorite ones.
With her distinct personal style and command of an impressive social media, television, and radio following, Thando's decision to launch her own brand was a hit from day one.
We now at Thabooties, we are an underwear and shapewear brand. We're originally underwear and shapewear. We've sort of diversified into sleepwear, into lingerie, into swimwear, and yeah, we're doing pretty good. When you put on Thabooties, you feel sexy. We're also an edgy brand. So the stuff that you find here, you don't necessarily find at your ordinary retail store. So we pride ourselves in finding niche, fashionable, comfortable, functional products. I think there isn't a lot of brands like this around where you can find the same garments from an extra small to a 6XL. And I thought it's important to include all types of women, because the South African woman is not linear. The South African woman is not one type of woman. We are different, we are diverse, we are beautiful. I try not to put onto the market something I personally wouldn't wear. So we try the stuff out. We sample it. I mean, you saw me with my pajamas a little bit earlier on. So I get high in my own supply, if you will. And at Thabooties, we just all about celebrating what it means to be a girl boss. I hope people see the journey and that it wasn't like an overnight sort of success story. I hope people are inspired to put in the time, put in the work, and understand that then the sort of results will show themselves.
Thando is a talented, capable and ambitious young woman who proves that with hard work, anything is possible. After the break, we meet up with another female pioneer in content creation, Kim Jayde. Social media star, blogger, fashionista and presenter. These are some of the many titles that one of South Africa's top 10 influencers hold, Kim Jayde. But did you also know that she's a sneakerhead? Let's step into the day in the life of the one and only Kim Jayde.
Social media has been such fertile soil for blogger, fashionista and presenter Kim Jayde, who has used it to flourish as one of SA's top 10 influencers. Tapping into hip-hop style, she has built her brand from the sneakers right up to making Forbes Africa 30 Under 30 list.
My name is Kim Jayde. Welcome to my home. Come inside. I grew up in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, and came to South Africa to get my honors degree in social work and psychology from Stellies. From there, it was kind of a crazy journey to get into the industry. I started as a model while I was studying. It was my side hustle to make some money on the side, doing a little modeling job here and there. And when I finally graduated, I decided to pursue modeling and being in the fashion industry full time, which was, I think, a little bit scary for my parents, because as you guys know, people of color, they're like, what do you mean you want to be a model for a living? We paid for a whole honors degree and now you want to take pictures? And yeah, I think that was a little bit of a challenge in the beginning, but ultimately when they saw it become successful and they saw the ads on TV and they saw the magazines, they were 100% behind it.
Kim started her show Kicking It with Kim Jayde on YouTube and Instagram, using sneaker culture as a jumping off point to interview a range of creative and famous guests.
Hey guys, so welcome to probably the best room in the house. Anyone that follows me is very familiar with my sneaker wall. And this is Ishan. So he is the founder and head designer of Haku, which is an incredible local brand. And we've been working together for the past few years, making some iconic looks. And what Zesh specializes in is upcycling, which is so incredible for our environment. Everybody is super eco-conscious at the moment.
So I love upcycling, zero waste. Like for example, this jacket's made from a whole lot of offcuts, zero waste from previous outfits. The pants is also upcycled from older pants that doesn't fit to make a new design.
Fire. For other clients, he's made a red bandana jacket or a black one, and all of that fabric never gets thrown away, the leftovers and the scraps. He puts it all together and makes one brand new jacket. Fashion and being able to express myself through clothes and dressing up has always been something that's always excited me. You can completely transform who you are that day by how you dress. So you can wake up in the morning in your pajamas, like average and normal, and put on these clothes that will transform you. It's like how a superhero puts on a cape and he's automatically transformed into this other character. That's how I approach fashion and dressing up. During COVID, when I launched my YouTube channel, I launched a show called Kicking It with Kim Jayde. In the show, we explore sneaker culture, and we explore how it ties into fashion and music and entertainment and sports. And through doing the show and through my own travels, my passion for sneakers grew. Hence, this crazy collection. And this is only a fraction of it. There are tons of amazing sneakers here and a lot of them are super special to me. But I think ones that I can point out, this is called Bape. They are special for me because these sneakers are made in Japan. It's rare. You can't even buy this shoe in South Africa. And my boyfriend got them for me for Christmas, so they were very special. He bought them in Dubai. In the sneaker community, we have what we call a grail. A grail shoe is something that is very sentimental, but also quite often very valuable. This is the first collaboration that the Jordan brand did with a Latino artist. His name is J Balvin. And so it came via New York, which costs so much money, but is so worth it, and it's one of my most special pairs. There's such a cool saying, it's like, I make shoe contact before I make eye contact. It really is a thing in sneaker culture.
As the antidote to studios and sound stages, Kim's the first to tell you that her happy place is being in the great outdoors.
I grew up with 4 brothers. We were always outdoors, riding our bikes, swimming in lakes, just like living our best lives. So for me, that's why it's so great as an adult to be able to be outdoors. That's why when we travel, we're by the beach or out by a lake, and it's just great because there's no need for glam or makeup or styling. You can just be one with nature.
The outdoors is so appealing to me personally because I feel like it's the perfect time for us to be ourselves. There's no pressure, no cameras. We genuinely get to have genuine conversation. The vibes are good and everything is just always positive, and that's what we need.
Honestly, having a quad bike experience with my girl Rari is so amazing. Also, like, normally people think this is a boys thing to do, like a boys activity, but the girls are killing it.
From her start, posting on how to look cute on a budget, to being voted one of the 100 most influential Africans, where does Kim go from here?
My greatest accolade would be recognized for Forbes 30 Under 30, but my greatest accomplishment was registering my own business, having something that's mine and pushing that and marketing that and being able to employ other young creative people.
To Kim Jayde, enjoying a fulfilling life and flourishing career means coming up with new inspiring ideas and growing them with hard work and dedication.
It is thanks to all of Kim's hard work on and off screen as an influencer that she is now one of Forbes' top 30 under 30 achievers.
We're sure all of her opportunities have gotten her a lot more sneakers. Stay tuned and be inspired by the stunning home of Silvio Rick and Leslie Carstens. Architects and interior designers Silvio Rick and Leslie Carstens are legends in their industry, and you can see why. They've spent the last 25 years making a name for themselves with their specialized and unique custom products exclusive to their clients.
And I was lucky enough to get a personal tour from Silvio and Leslie themselves, and it was breathtaking.
Hi, Yanda. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well.
Hello, Yanda. Welcome.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful home striking off the bat.
Welcome to our home. This is our powerhouse machine for living in. Here we have our studio on this side, and then we connected with this incredible view of Joburg to our house over there by this thin concrete slab which is suspended in the sky.
You know, we like to have a work-life balance, so there's work on this side, living on that side, and the Eduardo Villa sculpture, because work life and a little bit of art, that has a nice balance. Then we also have the shape of the roof. It's also a style of architecture which is called Googie, which comes from Lauta in America. And the original bungalow that was here was a little Googie style bungalow. So it's a modern version of the old bungalow, and it was infatuated, the style was infatuated with interstellar travel, the Jetsons, James Bond, all those sort of lovely things, and that's the sculpture that we thought would conjure up images or crystallize your thoughts on those sort of topics.
Oh, well, I can't wait to go through the experience of this home. Are we headed down the stairs?
Let's go. Okay, so this is our half-felt veranda house. What we've done is we've created this is our downstairs veranda, and we've created a modern version of a Joburg high-felt house, which is off-shutter cast concrete columns, and then it's embedded between indigenous vegetation on both sides.
There seems to be a big play with the home itself, with the environment. It seems like you've built the home to fit with the environment. Can you touch up a bit about that?
Well, when we first built the house, it was wall-to-wall wattle trees, and so we took and eucalyptus trees, which are all non-indigenous. So we cut down about 50 trees, and then in the interim we planted about 80 olives and wild olives and more indigenous trees along here. So the birds are coming back, and so it's a real connection with nature now.
There really is. Yeah. It just seems like you're trying to keep the outside in.
I'd like to talk to you about this table. The chairs are not to Le Corbusier, the founder of the modern movement, and the table in the travertine looks very altar-like, very simple, very bold, very strong, and that with the view as a backdrop along this colonnade is one of the essays we really enjoy.
Oh yes, such an amazing feature just before you walk into the home. Beautiful. This house is inspirational both inside and out. Silvio and Leslie are also interior designers and run their own practice, specializing in creating unique artisanal pieces.
This is the heart of the house. Although it's a modern glass building and concrete, we like to create this coziness around the fireplace, because that's the kind of place where people meet and chat and drink wine and have conversations, and we sort of celebrated the fireplace with a Carlos Scarpa inspired sculpture made out of cast concrete.
So this, in terms of incorporating the old and the new building, this whole sawtooth roof, the fireplace, these columns and the fenestration here were all part of the old building.
And then also you will see that when we move down to this area, there's quite a big version of that plant and that green lung, which is part of the old house, together with the original tiles that were part of the house, just to connect the old with the new. So we can probably go down and have a look at the old tiles.
Please, let us.
Sure. You know, 60 years ago, this was a modern piece of glass. It's no longer a modern piece of glass. But we looked through it and we sort of retained it and celebrated it, and put the type of plant that kind of deals with the inside, outside, and our connection with plant life and our connection to that light fitting. So you always feel like you're surrounded by plants in one way or another, although you're in a concrete building.
Yes, I love how intentional everything is. And again, that reminder that you're trying to draw the outside in and not make it feel like separate pieces.
So, I mean, I always love a house that's permeable. You know, it's not a single entry and a single exit. So with this house here, we've got doorways that you can come in at any angle and out at any angle.
So we're in the kitchen now, and obviously kitchens are hotly contested spots in the house.
Very much so.
Everybody loves designing kitchens. We love this sort of monolithic slab, almost like a sacrificial altar, and then the very minimal kind of cabinetry and the two cylinders to suck the fumes out. So it's a very minimal kind of line, but it has a strong aesthetic and sends a strong message, and from the kitchen itself. And you can see that when we're cooking, we have lots of people around, and you can see by the stools it becomes another little heart of the house, and it's connected to nature. And then another aspect that is worth noting is the Aga stove was an original stove that was here, so we've kept that as a memory of the old house. And next to it, these little benches were also part of the old house.
It's a bit of a house of memories and exploration. It's memories looking for pieces of furniture, glass objects, paintings and everything. And then exploration, because we also love to explore different materials, and we can take chances in our own house.
Okay, so welcome to our bedroom. This is a pièce of résistance, and as you can see, the view from here was one of the major concerns when we were designing this house.
What a beautiful space.
You know, one of the things in architecture that we love is volume, as we saw in the film as well. But the idea of this capsule, this volume, this high space with the tall columns and the skylight coming down, what actually happens is the sun comes through the skylight, and during the day this dot moves around the room. The timber gives it that kind of warmth. So we have the same color timber floor, wall and ceiling and skylight, so the quality of the light's quite warm, and then it's the sort of greys complement that in a sense, and then finally we have the splashes of color like this carpet.
And then our bed, for instance, with these little tables which we designed on a route. During COVID, we didn't have a headboard, so we pushed them together, we made a little headboard, and we turned it into a headboard, and it's stayed with us ever since.
And it works so beautifully in this space.
And we love to design bespoke pieces that are different. You know, for instance, we've designed and seen so many vanities in our lives, but we thought it would be lovely to do a vanity that looked like a tree, an abstraction of a tree.
And then this flows sculpturally into our bathroom, which we try to make look a bit more sculptural. So it's this big sort of plinth, monolithic plinth over here. It doesn't look like the classic bath. And then our wardrobe is actually this divider between the bedroom and the bathroom. And so when you're in it, you're always aware of changing seasons, changing light, changing spaces. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me in your beautiful home today and taking the time to give me a tour. Not only did you show me how beautiful it was, but you gave me a lot of education on the concepts of design. And I know that from now on, I'll be throwing some random comments in my own space.
Perfect.
Great, you're very welcome.
With their unique sense of style and design principles, Silvio and Leslie show us how they are influencers and trendsetters in the world of design. Next up, we check in with another icon in the content creation space, Sarah Langa.
Join our community and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Rand cash. To enter, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X or TikTok and reply to the question on the competition post, sharing what you enjoyed most about this week's show, and use our hashtag Afternoon Express. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Sarah Lange is one of South Africa's most influential content creators, and one thing that many might not know about her is that she's quite the academic.
Sarah has a staggering 4 university degrees. These include a British Academy of Interior Design, a Master's of Business Administration, a postgrad diploma in Business Administration, and a Bachelor of Arts in a major with psychology with a minor in marketing.
Sarah understands the value of hard work, but also takes time for her own personal health and relaxation.
Hi guys, my name is Sarah Langa and I am here at Rosebank. We've been here since 8 a.m. and guess what? I'll be having you join me the whole day as I get up to all of my favorite things, from shooting content to meetings to Pilates to cooking. I'm super excited to have you guys with me today.
With artificial intelligence beginning to generate more content, you still can't beat a relatable person at the center of every post, as Sarah displayed in her Pilates session with Monique Martinego.
Fitness has been a part of my journey for the past 2 years. I've been exploring all the different ways that I can make my body stronger and feel better. And I think I started Pilates about 10 months ago with Mon, and I have loved it ever since. Like, it's a part of my workout routine that I think I enjoy the most in the week, because not only does it make me feel stronger, but it makes me feel amazing. I'm just able to understand my body better. And I love the fact that also it's an educational journey. I learned so much about my body.
There is something so unique and wonderful about Sarah. She's got the most beautiful spark, but she really embodies that student mindset. She wants to learn. She wants to understand what she's doing. And as a Pilates instructor, that is just like the best client to have. Thumbs hang out, long fingers, take a breath in. Right leg exhale, tabletop, left leg tabletop. Squeeze knees, squeeze ankles, inhale. Inhale, bend in the elbow, there we go. Exhale, straighten your arms, breathe out.
So what keeps me going would be the motivation that I have within me. As much as I have goals that I've achieved, there's always something new that I'm working towards. I have the spirit of constantly evolving, and I wake up in the morning knowing that all of the things that I feel today are things that are my goals for tomorrow. They're things that I want to achieve for tomorrow. So that's definitely what keeps me going. Just knowing that, like, even when I've reached my floor, even when I've reached the peak of what I want to reach, I create a new peak. And also seeing myself evolve into so many different people, seeing myself achieve all the things that I want to achieve keeps me going, because it makes me realize that I can actually do it and I can do more. That was super challenging, but that is what I love the most about Pilates. Every time I come here, I feel like I'm able to challenge myself, push my boundaries, and become stronger and healthier, and I feel so amazing afterwards.
For all the time that Miss Langa spends posting about fitness routines, new restaurants, or fashion weeks, her home life is a major attraction too.
Hi guys, welcome to my 3-in-1 personal home, workplace, and also my everyday studio. I absolutely love art, and I'm obsessed with African themed art and African artists. So I've made sure to collaborate with a lot of local artists and designers. As you see, I have some African artifacts. I have this incredible artist, Lulama Wolf, who's a personal friend of mine, and I had to have one of her biggest pieces hanging on my wall. To me, it's important because it creates character. It kind of lets people know who I am and the things that I love. So it was important that I brought a lot of personal elements, pieces that I selected myself, even though I had interior designers, to be able to bring a flair of my own personality. This is the living room lounge area. I brought House of Amica in to put together a lounge pocket that was going to be not only functional, but also that was going to bring in different textures and also be, you know, neutral enough for me to use for my shoots, for different types of shoots and different themes. The one way that I'm able to channel my mind into knowing that I'm home is through fragrance. So a lot of the spaces in my home will always have diffusers, candles. I also have a lot of incredible home sprays, so that when I know that it's time to switch off, I'll take the home fragrance and spray it around. And it just does something. It tells me that, like, now it's time to switch off, and now you're at home, and, you know, now you can feel relaxed. So one of the things that I wanted to achieve when putting my home together was to be able to have tones, textures, and colors that can basically complement anyone, anything. I want anyone to come to my home and feel at home. So the dining room area is complementary of my hobby. I love cooking, I love serving, I love being able to host friends. And I think outside of shooting content in my home, this is the one space that a lot of people that I love get to experience the most. So yeah, this is my most favorite area. It's really chilled. I wanted to create a space where people are not afraid to make a mess. I want people to spill wine on the carpet and I won't even be mad, so don't spill wine on my carpet though. One of my favorite places in the house has to be this space right here, my kitchen. Now, this is where all the business happens. This is probably one of my most used spaces. I make all of my dishes and I love cooking. I prepare a meal for myself every single day here. And because I knew you guys were coming, I had to make one of my favorite dishes, and I'm taking it back home to my roots. One of the dishes that my mom used to prepare for me all the time, samp, and it smells so good. Let's just wait and let that simmer for a bit while I continue to show you the rest of the house. Last but not least, I have to show you one of my most incredible spaces. Everyone that visits me loves this space. This is my reading lounge. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know I'm an academic at heart. I love studying. In actual fact, I'm about to embark on a new journey of studying interior design because of how passionate I am about this. I created this space to be able to really unwind, sit down, and be able to read a book, read news in the morning, be able to read magazines. And as you see over here is my wall of fame.
Smart enough to learn from the best, Sarah has asked the interior decorating team of Naledi Keswa and Peter Lechanyane to set the scene.
So the brief that we received from Sarah was so that we can create a very open plan space where she can shoot content as she's a content creator.
So what we then looked at is working the space for content creation. Really looking at how the space would work well when she's shooting at home. So that's where now we came in and redesigned the layout for her.
We analyzed the area that she was in. So when we walked in, the space was very dark and it had some elements of citrus. So we wanted to make the space a bit light and very airy. So when coming in, we advised that, okay, for content creation, it is always better to have some neutral lighting and to lighten up the space.
Working with Sarah was quite easy. She's an easygoing person. She was quite straightforward and she was open with the level of work that we produced.
This couch is designed by House of America. We sat together and we kind of came up with the concept of a couch that would be a 3-seater, be able to be compatible, very light in color, great textures, but also not too fragile. She designed this piece for me and we call it the Cloud Couch. I was one of the first people to have it, but you can order it on her online store.
It was a very enjoyable project because even with the fabrics, she was willing to do fabrics that are trending and she wasn't afraid to do things that are a fad. And she was saying that she's open to reupholstering in future. So it was easy to work with someone like that is willing to take advice from us as manufacturers in terms of what works best for the type of design that she wants. So it was nice to work with someone that is able to take advice from professionals in the certain space.
So style is very important to me because, as you see, I am never caught off camera. So I have to make sure that I can always have fashionable, iconic moments like anywhere, even in the kitchen. So over here we have some oxtail with carrots and beans. We have green beans. It smells so good. Being a content creator in an industry that was not even like a thing, like we created this industry, it was super hard work. We had to allow people to build the confidence in what we're trying to do. We had to do it for free for like maybe 3-4 years. And it's purely because of passion. Like I started off doing this because I was passionate about it. I loved fashion, I loved beauty, I loved, skincare, and being able to share information with people was what I loved. It was never because it was a job. And I think that is the one thing that I want to approach even in the next phase in my life. I want to be able to find something that I'm extremely passionate about because the rewards come in the passion. The rewards come in doing what you love and not what you get out of it.
After a decade in an industry which demands that you break new ground daily, Sarah Langa remains ahead of the pack.
With 683,000 followers on Instagram and her own interior design company, Sarah proves that focus and intent can lead to greatness.
And greatness we truly did see this evening. Please let us know what you are doing to further your personal career and tag us at Afternoon Express. Thank you for joining us and enjoy your 1st of May experience. Join us next Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Afternoon Express as we celebrate Mother's Day.
Ayanda spoils her mom Tembi by taking her out for high tea.
Mafigizolo lead singer Nhlanhla Mafu dedicates a clothing line to her mother, Ellis.
Architect Gillian Hull tells us how she balances motherhood and her career. Nina Hasty shares a meal and memories with her mom, Desanka Hasty. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. only on S3.
Another feel-good production.